Contextual translation enabled. The timestamps on the log have unfortunately been lost. I hired a human engineer today. Said his name is Elizabeth. When asked what sort of augments they have, they responded, and I quote, "Well, I have the standard nano, cyber and genetic enhancements for increased intelligence, durability, endurance, strength, biological immortality, ability and flexibility, dexterity, disease prevention, anti-radiation, toxin filtering, temperature regulation, computer in my head, vacuum protection, atmospheric recycling, metabolism control, that sort of stuff. Although there's been talk of having those basic genetic changes be germline instead of somatic, so that would be just baseline human, not baseline enhancements. Anyway, as for the non-standard stuff, I had my eyes entirely replaced with cybernetic ones, and I have a basic engineering suite. Intuitive programming, multi-tools in my hands and forearms, electron beam welders, that sort of stuff. Lastly, I replaced my fingernails with small but retractable, sharp and durable claws. Helps with stripping wires and manipulating small finicky stuff. Oh, and I have several chambers in my left upper arm that can synthesize different inks, which I can draw into and eject out of my claws. Never have to worry about having a pen or Sharpie with me, basically. Firstly, it seems they like to ramble a bit. Secondly, standard augments. It's kind of funny how these people that are a fair bit smaller than any other known sapient species are so terrifying. Do note that said genetic changes have in fact gone through recently. The humans are also looking into designing cells that would create nanobots to construct other nanobots and cybernetics, thus allowing any human to automatically have basic health assurance. Turns out the human is female, not male. I was mistaken due to the lack of apparent memories. Also, even a joking hit from a human rather hurts. Upon trying out the shower in their quarters, the human proclaimed that it's like drizzling ice water on yourself in the middle of the Arctic. There was much more colourful language surrounding that, including several expletives that didn't originate with humans. Then they started working on refitting the shower, starting with adding more pumps, to the extent that the water would tear away the flesh of any other being on board. Upon losing a 10mm socket, the humans slammed their hand against an armoured bulkhead in frustration. The bulkhead in question massively deformed. After cursing the flimsy materials, they got to work fixing it. Elizabeth diverted some of the heat from one of the secondary reactors to their shower, and then to compensate for the lost power from the reactor, completely rebuilt it. On one talon, that secondary reactor is now more powerful than the primary. On the other, while the shower was never able to get particularly hot, that seems excessive. One of the Drawslack, Dank Matter, challenged the human to a sparring match on the condition that the human disable their cybernetics first. Dank Matter is now in stasis until we can get them to a proper hospital. Elizabeth apologised profusely, stating that without their cybernetics active, they can't judge their strength versus the sturdiness of their opponent anywhere nearly as accurately. Another Drawslack, Dank Matter, challenged the human to a spar. I slapped him upside the head. Working with binary electronics instead of octa is a bit easier, but damn, is it bulkier. Human electronics don't use binary. What? I finally got around to looking at the weapons you guys carry. They're not great. A little while later, Elizabeth gave me a seemingly cobbled together handgun. The weapon does nothing to the ship's hull, but against anything organic or containing organic matter, such as a heavy assault infantry suit with an avian inside, the result is gruesome. Elizabeth was tinkering with our anti-meteor weapons. The ship is now technically classified as a lightly armoured artillery warship instead of a cargo hauler. They swore to fix the lightly armoured part. The human working on the shield generators and increase their strength by some amount I'm not really sure of. The other engineers are insisting physics doesn't work like that. When at full power, the back of your teeth tastes like blueberries. I have never tasted blueberries. They apologise for not being able to make it stronger with the materials at hand without taking down the entire power grid for refit. I hadn't gotten around to looking at their drives because I assumed that would be the first thing the other engineers here would bring up to decent specs with the materials available. Clearly, I was wrong. Our sublight manoeuvring speed is 1.3 times as fast, our sublight forward acceleration 1.7 times as fast, and our FDL 3.1 times as fast. A crew member accidentally disable the filter on the internet, and browse the human-specific internet, they're a tad bit traumatized. A crew member accidentally downloaded a computer virus that resulted in any input having a human sing that they would never stop hunting the viewer. Elizabeth spent several minutes cursing whoever programmed the device before fixing it. I learned several new interesting combinations of words from them.